If I were able to rewind and meet my 16-year-old self, I wouldn't recognize him. Over the course of 1 year, I cascaded downward, from being an honor roll student and college bound to failing almost all of my classes and becoming homeless. My education, interests, and goals had all been put on the back burner. That year, I transferred into Madison schools in an attempt to begin closer proximity to my job. On my first day of school that semester, I was introduced to an individual without whom I never would have been able to turn my life around. This superhuman woman became my ally, watcher, and the greatest catalyst in my personal journey to rediscover myself and my potential. Bonnie Augusta was the mentor and leading force that guided the aforementioned 16-year-old to become a high school and soon-to-be college graduate. Bonnie tirelessly worked with myself and countless other students in the Madison School District, directly and behind the scenes, always making sure we had the basic needs to be able to attend school and remain as physically and emotionally healthy as possible. During her time as the LGBTQ resource teacher for the Madison Metropolitan School District, Bonnie made sure students had everything from coats and supplies to rides to doctor's appointments and assistance with prescription refills, always going above and beyond the call of duty for any teacher. Bonnie's contributions to the youth of Dane County, however, do not end there. Aside from her work as the LGBTQ resource teacher who provided priceless services to LGBTQ students and allies, Bonnie continues today to dedicate much of her time to causes in the community surrounding the LGBTQ community and youth, and especially, as of late, an initiative called Make Room for Youth, or Murphy, to provide resources and housing for homeless youth in Dane County. Despite being technically retired, Bonnie's ever so famous scheduling book is filled up still every day. But to quote her on this matter, the work is never done. I am honored, I am proud, and I'm humbled to introduce and present Bonnie Augusta with the 2011 Judy Devereaux Community Activist Award. There are not enough thanks, praise, and love that this community could possibly bestow onto her. The monumental footsteps she has left and are continuing to leave in the community are truly and utterly awe-inspiring. For myself and every person you have ever touched, Bonnie, I thank you. And with that, I give you Bonnie Augusta.
I will not cry. No. Where is Jared? Okay, Jared, thank you. Oh my gosh, Jared. Thank you. I always like to thank my family, but I won't because that will make me cry tonight. But thanks to GSA for this award. The thing that I'm so very conscious of is that I cannot claim it for myself. I stand, literally and figuratively, on the shoulders of many, many others, and more than I could ever mention here tonight. But I will talk about some of them. I stand on the shoulders of Jack Siebert, who retired many, many years ago from Madison School District. I'm glad many people here remember him. I'm very glad. Jack led the way with his leadership of GLEE, which was mentioned earlier, the Gay and Lesbian Educational Employees Group, and with his participation in some of those first-in services that were done around GLBT issues for teachers, and with his multiple efforts with the union, MTI, to get equitable contract language for LGBT staff. I stand on Jack Siebert's shoulders. I stand on the shoulders of GSAFE, an organization that has allowed so many of us to positively direct our anger and our frustration about what happens to countless youth in our schools and in our communities. And within GSAFE, I especially stand on the shoulders of Brian Jukums, who has allowed me so graciously to co-present with him around the state. I have learned so much from you, and I continue to do so. And shortly I'll be using one of Mama J's tricks, so watch for it. Okay. GSAFE is going through a transition right now, and I have great faith in this organization. I know they will continue to grow, they will continue to evolve to further their mission for and with youth of this state. They will continue to deserve all of our support. And lastly, I stand on the shoulders of those youth with whom we work. And let me show you why. In a minute, but not now, I want all the following youth to stand. Any youth who has done a GLBT presentation or panel for teachers or other adults or with their schools. Any youth has started or had any leadership role in their GSA. Any youth who has spoken to their peers about anti-bullying, anti-harassment, or anti-bias. Any youth who has worked with GSA for safe schools. Stand now and let's give them a hand. Don't sit down, stay standing. And I want everybody to also imagine those Northwood Middle School students standing here also, even though they weren't allowed to be here. Imagine them in this group also. Look at all these amazing young people. If you really want to get me angry, just start talking about kids these days. They're so whatever. Because I'll tell you what they are. They're great. They are the social justice warriors of our time. And Jared, I have no doubt that you and the rest of these young people will correct the mistakes of my generation. All right, now you can sit down. So, some advice for all of us. Never miss an opportunity to develop a relationship with a young person. Most of them have stories that can greatly inform us. They'll make us laugh, and they'll make us cry. Some, like Cody, are unfortunately the canaries in the mine. They let us know how very painful their journey is. Some energize us to be able to continue our own journeys. I trust them. I believe in them. I learn from them, and I love them. I stand on their shoulders. Thank you all.